YouTube is P2 Finger. I want to talk about pedal building. So it's so easy to go to AliExpress or Temu or eBay and get, heck, you go on Amazon and get a $30 guitar pedal from China that'll do anything. These are clones of the pedals from the 70s and 80s. They're real small Chinese clones that sound good. They don't make a real lot of noise. So it begs the question, why would you want to spend the money to build a pedal? Because pedal building as a hobby is expensive and it's a skill. A lot can go wrong. The truth of it is, pedal builders will tell you not always the first time that you plug the pedal in, it's going to work. After you built it, you may have some troubleshoot to do. And if you really are an experienced pedal builder, you'll know it choosing the project can be more important as far as just the success rate. So the further off the beat path you go, meaning if this is some weird project like Uncle Bud's Pedal Shack special deal on the clearance rack, there's a little kit on the side and it's been taped open and the instructions are wrong or crooked, because if you get mistakes in the BOM, mistakes in the PCB, if you bought the PCB and it's bad, all of that stuff, missing information from bill of materials, bad parts, if you're buying a kit, there's a lot of pitfalls to get your pedal to fire up first time. A lot. So to minimize all that, it's good to pick something that's really popular, and wherever you're getting your info from is a big place that has like a forum where you can get some assistance or there's other people talking about it. Like the more information or build reports about a circuit, like if you're going to make a pedal, you should start with a folder with the name of the pedal and just start collecting information. There'll be different versions, different modifications, different part substitutions of different values. So you can conglomerate all this and make something that's really more unique. Because it turns out there's only a few circuits that people keep reusing, and it's been all the same, nothing new under the sun. So for me, I like to find pedals that they might have a part inside of it that's considered a special, more expensive component. They call it mojo. Some people will come out and go, there is no mojo. My experience has shown me there is. There is mojo. Usually you got to pay through the nose. Sometimes you can build these, you can build for high performance and like build smart, like WEMA caps, Panasonic electrodes, metal film resistors, and you'll end up with a quieter circuit doing stuff like a lithium ion power pack that's got proper filtering on it rather than some wall wart AC. As far as the signal to noise ratio, there's definitely a path to follow for success. As far as picking the right pedal, what you want to buy, I think finding a project that uses a part in it that's a mojo component is what I've been on to. Lately, I've been on a specific part, which is a performance chip. It's an op amp. Now, there's a lot of talk in the past in the guitar pedal community about circuits that use germanium transistors. I agree. And I say this is the number one part. This is the one. Build yourself a Rangemaster. Now, when you tune and you're playing soft, you'll hear a little hiss in there. You won't necessarily notice if you're playing full blast or with a band with a drum track. That's the problem. It's this little amount of hiss that can be kind of bothersome on a Rangemaster, but it's really not noticeable. That's one of the things I'm working on today. I'm trying, or in this up and coming future, I have a specific sound, which is this treble booster, a Rangemaster Germanium, and then there's a mid-range booster and a bass booster, two pedals right after it, and I switch them up. Sometimes I have all three on, but I run the Germanium Rangemaster Treble Booster with a mid-range boost that's called the Demeter Fat Control. It's like the Clapton 25 decibel mid-range boost, hump in the middle. Wonderful for a Strat, especially combining it when you have the treble booster full and then you bring the treble booster just cuts all the mids and the bass. So using these other circuits brings it back. You don't turn them all the way up. They're all set down lower in the first third of the turn of the volume gain control. So I have a tag board layout, point-to-point wired germanium treble booster. Then there's a PCB, which is the Demeter Fat Control, the mid-range boost. And then lastly, it's an EP boost that's been modified for extended bass. And there's a toggle for like bass boost. So those three pedals run in my effects loop, and I don't use any other overdrive or dirt boxes. And I'm getting like killer tone doing this. And it's a modeler. It's a new XMG30, but I'm using clean boosts. I'm just using really good ones. So I'm going to try, like I have a set of rules about building pedals now. It's got to have either a germanium or JFETs is another one that I really like. We could talk a little bit more about that. I really like using those op amp, the Burr Brown one. They're really expensive. $6 high performance little chip. Like normally you have a 25-cent little chip. And then you have this $6 one. People go, oh, that's bullshit. That chip isn't any better. Well, you read the specs and it is. Plus, if you put a meter on it and you see how much current that it's consuming, the high performance one is chugging down the battery power. Meaning if you had two pedals with the same battery, but you have a different chip, you have the Burr Brown high performance, high fidelity chip, or than the normal chip with the JFET buffer built in it. That Burr Brown, the high perf chip, is going to suck the battery dry in like a day. And then, 3 days later, the JFET version's still going. Which one are you going to want? Well, I'm going to want the high performance one that's chugging up the power. So learning about that idea with the headroom and how things distort. I built a headphone amp with those chips. I built an EQ, 3-band equalizer with those chips. And then there's a tube preamp before it. So the signal comes out of the mixer, goes in a tube preamp to this special EQ that's got those fancy chips in it. And then the headphone amp has those chips too. And I use 50 millimeter titanium driver headphones. They're the best studio headphones. And the sound is like, when I did that with those chips, it was like, yes, I can hear it. It sounds better, So that led me to how come my pedals don't have that chip in it? And I found people are building them, and the reviews on the pedals are that the pedals are really good, like really good. So yeah, the Greer Lightspeed was the first pedal I tried. It's an overdrive with that chip. And now I'm building a clean bass boost to go in place of the EP boost with my Rangemaster. And I'm going to try a Omega treble booster, which uses a combination of a JFET and a MOSFET for clipping. So my rules about building pedal, the pedal should have some kind of unique part in it that's exciting. It might be an extra part that's a mojo component that offer an extended performance or something special about this pedal. So if I go to resell it, I can go, this is the pedal with that special fucking chip in it. This isn't no $90, $150 pedal. This is the fucking $350 pedal, because it is. So for me, if I'm going to build a pedal, that's my way of thought. And it goes to Burr Brown chips, goes to germanium transistors, not the diodes. Diodes are, it goes to, I like like germanium is number one, but I also like JFET. MOSFET, there's this thing called the Mostortion Ibanez S10, MS10. That's it's on my list, but I mean it's a different type of clipping. We're going to talk about clipping. My thing has been this Rangemaster. You know, when you with a Strat, when you tune with it, you play a medium volume, you hear a little on the end of the note. It's this hiss, and that's the problem. Other than that, the distortion it's the best distortion I've ever got in my life. I love the distortion, and I'm running a real high value cap. And when I roll my volume down on my treble on my bridge pickup, I'm getting a Cocteau effect. Sounds like Zappa's Cocteau lead high gain sound. And my guitar tone is better than it's ever been in my life. And I'm just using a NUX amp modeler, an MG30. And this triple boost is in the loop, in the effects loop. So I'm going to up the quality of the treble booster and the bass booster using that super chip. We're going to try that new booster out because I don't know if I'll get rid of the EP boost, but I'm going to have a unit. It'll either have it might be like a FAL treble booster. It might be a Beano boost. It might be a Keeley. There's a Keeley boost that's supposed to be really good. I'm going to have to audition all of the treble boosts I can find to find one that has the least amount of hiss. And then I'm going to pair it with the Thorpe heavy water, or the Thorpe bass boost circuit. There's a pedal called the heavy water, and there's two bass boost circuits in it. That's what the pedal is. It's a double. And this same circuit is in Thorpe, the Dane, which is this guy named Danish Pete, his custom overdrive. So it's an overdrive and a bass boost. The bass boost has a volume knob and a bass knob. That's the circuit I want to build. Goes after my treble boost to bring in the low end. And like I said, I have this list of parts. It has to have one of these components, either a germanium or an OP, a Burr Brown chip. I like the JFETs sometimes. I really do. Trying to think what else. Low slew rate chip. The first op amp that ever came out is called an LM741. JRC LM741. If you could find a bag of 5 of those or 10 of those and send them to me. That's a really popular chip in the old days, and it's got a low slew rate. And every time I talk to somebody who's a professional sound engineer, they always want to get into a real big argument with me and tear me to pieces about this low slew rate on this chip. I insist that when you build a circuit with this chip, there's something about the way it distorts that's different, and it's awesome. And I say it's this low slew rate, like how fast the chip thinks. They go, no, it doesn't have anything to do with it. Like, well, I don't know what it is then, but I know it makes a difference. So that's one of those things. People swear about the 4558 IC chip, like that's something special. I don't. I think the TLO 71s, 1458, that's the same thing. It's a dual. There's 2 of them on either side of the 8-pin chip or 16-pin chip if it's a dual. I really like those, but the OP 2134, man, that's nice. That's nice. It's $6, but you get what you pay for. So Vero layouts are great no matter what component you pick. You can just pick a Top Hat P2N2222. Those are great transistors. There's great You can find great circuits in any platform. Any platform has them, whether it's, germanium, silicon, chip, whatever. You can find great circuits all around. Pedal building is really an incredibly rewarding thing. It's just not easy and not cheap.